Assalamu
Um,
alaikum. Uh, we are 3 minutes late.
okay, Assalamu alaikum. Sorry. Starting right away. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Alaikum assalam.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali kulli wa sahbihi kulli ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome to another session. We are in very blessed time, very important times of the year of the Ramadan. So we are in territory of Laylatul Qadr, inshallah, maybe tonight or tomorrow, other night. So last 10 nights, any of them could be Laylatul Qadr. And as we know, this is with the Qur'an and Surah is on this one. This a blessed night because according to many traditions, the Qur'an was revealed that night. And as a in a way, uh, reward for uh, such blessing of the revelation of the Quran that we get this Laylatul Qadr that is worthy of 1,000 months. So essentially, it means if we could properly use our time during this night, we will bless with good deeds that we can gain in 1,000 months. That is equivalent to 83 years. Like it's almost saying that that if you, with good intention, do good deeds, that you'll be rewarded as if you spend your entire year with doing good deeds, inshallah. So we make dua that we all seek the benefit of this night and utilize those last few days and nights in the best way. And as one of the way to do is dealing with Quran, understanding Quran as we have been doing since the beginning of Ramadan. Now, we are still in the section that we give an example of the type of book Quran is. And particularly, we reflect on yesterday and the day before on Shura principles. And we mentioned that the Quran guide us on how to make a choice. Because this one way is life is choosing. And the Quran inviting us that to make a good choice, to make a good decision, it's better for you to consult with each other. And Dr. Ali yesterday mentioned that consultation should be done at every level, including consulting with different faculty that we have, with your emotion, with your mind, with your heart, internally. That's like kind of internal consultation. But then consulting with family member, consulting with those you work with, consulting with those that you manage. So consultation is this in this regard is part of Sunnatullah, is necessary steps to be blessed with good outcomes. So, and that's therefore we mentioned that in Islam brought the principles on how to establish a political systems based on this, how to establish a governance system based on this. And yesterday we discussed that when we look at those, we will see clearly that the Islamic worldview has different value, and therefore, when we have it, even though it's kind of similar to election, it is different because we mentioned that even when you are going to be leader of any organization, that's you don't you don't nominate yourself, that you are being nominated for the position, that those individuals entrust you this. So it's not like the ego fighting personal thing. It's a service given to you as an amana, and you ask Allah to give you guidance to fulfill that. And we mentioned that there is a blessing in that, rather than you go and just seek for the position for your own personal benefit, relying on your own personal judgment, power, knowledge. So we mentioned that's very, important differences. Now, today, we are going to continue our journey and give some, inshallah, more examples of how the Quran is revealing some amazing principle for us. And then, so we have just few days left. We are, in a way, kind of skipping some parts and bringing more spiritual, personal guide related some examples. And in this regard, that we're going to cover those maqasid within the maqasid al-Quran to see what are the guiding principle for us personally. But we will, inshallah, continue our journey after Ramadan. We already posted the poll question in WhatsApp group. Seems like we have very good interest. We have, I think, around 50 people. They are committed to participate on a weekly basis to study the Quran, and there are 50 other people. They are not as that committed because they don't know the timing, I guess. But I think that's good sign. Inshallah, we will talk more about this on Tuesday program. Inshallah, let's start, Dr. Ali.
Inshallah, assalamu alaikum. Thank you. So I remember when you said this is the blessed time, most blessed time of the blessed time, I thought, what makes this time blessed? Revelation of the Quran. So Ramadan is the month of the Quran. That's what we started our journey this month, this Ramadan. If Quran was not revealed, do you think this month will be blessed? That's a big question. And now Laylatul Qadr, the zenith of it, peak of it. Inshallah, my prayer is that after going through this journey, the Quran will reveal with its entire message into our or on our heart and mind. Inshallah. This makes the night Laylatul Qadr. Yeah,
I like this point. It's really amazing. So you're saying that Quran, you don't look at the Quran as something revealed 1400 years ago. Look at it as something that as if it's revealed to you now, this night, in terms of you directly being exposed to the Quranic message. It is revealed to your mind and heart because you are directly, let's say, you're directly receiving and understanding and dealing with this message. And I think that is a beautiful way to look at that.
Yeah, inshallah, the Quran will reveal to us during these days, blessed days. Of course, the most secret of the Laylatul Qadr is not to be known for sure. That is beautiful. That is very wise. We have to struggle forever. Forever. We have to struggle. When is my Laylatul Qadr? When? I don't know. I will try. Maybe now. Read another verse. Reflect on it. Inshallah. That is the Laylatul Qadr. Okay. Now, we talked last that the Muslim, especially the Muslim youth, are struggling with the problem of mostly not ayats introducing God and belief. Muslim ones, those searching, questioning ones are in need of those ayats. But the Muslims said, I believe in God. I believe in Islam is a good religion. But what can I do with this verse? What does it mean? Now we will continue, inshallah, without really spending much time. Because we have already spent 12 minutes. Inshallah, our participants will forgive us. Okay. Bismillah. Let's listen to this ayah.
يستخفون من الناس ولا يستخفون من الله وهو معهم إذ يبيتون ما لا يرضى من القول وكان الله بما يعملون محيطا.
Now, if a Muslim young man who has been in a college education or high school completed reads this verse and sees it, because they read mostly from the translation, even they are from Arab speaking word, they understand what you understand. You and I understand from the English translation of it, not more than this. Not because they know Arabic, they really infiltrate into meaning. Oh, it needs special study. If some native Arabic speaker nowadays, their language has nothing to do with the Quranic language, almost. So there is no difference between those people who speak their mother tongue Arabic, and most of them speak anyway Ammi Arabic. It's the local Arabic, is nothing to do with the Quran. So we have to be careful that young people usually reads the translation of it. Even he reads the Arabic as if he is reading the translation of it. That's what I want to emphasize on. Now, the meaning is they hide their plots from the people. Now, I'm putting myself in the shoes of an Muslim guy, a Muslim person, let's say 20 years old, and he's innocent. He doesn't have any bad intention, but he is questioning now because he's under the blow of social media. Everybody says something different. Now, you cannot hide what the critics are really uh, directed to the Quran. Everybody knows it. We cannot pretend as if we didn't hear it. So now reading this, they hide their plots from the people. Okay, talking about some uh, hypocrites, I think, but they cannot hide them from God. Yeah, God must know them. Okay. He is with them when they spend the night plotting what is displeasing to him. Something bad. They are doing something at night, and God says here, he is aware of it. He was with them. Possible. Okay. And God is ever encompassing all of what they do. Okay. That's what God says. I know what to do with them. And he says, what should I do with this verse? What is it to do with me? No? How can I benefit from it? God knows what they are doing. Possible, yeah. God, the Creator, must know, correct. And what shall I do with the verse? Now, another verse now, another ayah. This one from Yasin. Let's listen to it. Bismillah. Almost the same meaning. Bismillah.
فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون.
The, the same question. Read this verse, almost the same subject. That's why I share together. So don't let their words grieve you. No, okay. I shouldn't be grieved. Okay. I shouldn't bother what they say. Okay. We know what they keep secret and what they make public. Well, God knows. Okay. Again, I take my word. Okay. The question the young Muslims are rising nowadays, whether we would like to hear them or not, it is the reality. I lived with it. I have been living with it. It is the reality. We have to open up. What do you think of the Quran? They say, well, it is our book, but there are some verses, but I don't understand why. What am I going to do with these verses? Where is the universal message in it? Now, I wrote this one not to speak a lot. Why does God tell us that He is ever encompassing of what they do? What am I supposed to do with these ayat? Ayat, plural. Yeah. How can I apply it to my personal or social life? Yes, God knows them. Leave everything to Him, to God, and okay then. Sorry. Okay, I should carry on my life, go to work or school, make money or whatever I need to do. How can I apply this verse to my life? This is the question the Muslims or non-Muslims criticize it. But the innocent, with a good intention, Muslim youth are struggling with these ayats dealing with social, political, economic matters, bothers them a lot. We have to learn how can we get a universal message from these verses that it directly relates to my life now. Let's try, inshallah, as much as we can. We shouldn't speak a lot. I shouldn't speak great that I'm going to answer everything. No, no, no. We don't have this claim, do we, Dr. Najati? Just to recognize the reality, face it. And what can be the solution? Why Allah speaks in His eternal speech with His infinite knowledge, and how can I benefit from this kind of ayats and other kinds that how can I adapt it to my life during my time and my place, my age? Now, inshallah, we have to learn the method.
Dr. Ali, may I intervene? Did you hear me?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. Can we go back to the previous one before you go to interpretation? I think it's very important to highlight. I did look at the Asbab al-Nuzul, the event, the how does ayah reveal. When you really look at that, you find out there was a particular event, and in that particular, the first ayah, there was a thief. I think there was a theft issue, and there they were hiding something, saying something else. So if we look at within this context, it's like as if there was a certain event happening at that time, and then the ayah is just telling about us, but what should I do with this event now? Why the Quran as the universal message telling something about those peoples who live in, I think the first one was revealed in Medina, and that they were, having some issue, and the Quran bring this and tell me as if it's relevant to me. So in this case, that I think it is absolutely essential to derive the universal message, to say, no, the Quran is not talking about that incidence. The Quran is talking to you, to me. Give us the message through this example, through this incidence. So this is just an incidence, it's just let's say, a practical way of getting you to understand the message. Don't stuck with the example, get the meaning and message within the example. So let's see what it is. I think that's really amazing to look at this ayah to see how we can drive this universal message.
Yeah, thank you for putting it in a very black and white terms, clarifying what I want to say. Thank you. It's a great help. So in the Quran, in fact, Quran speaks in a way that doesn't give the name, mostly, doesn't mention certain event, but Badr is mentioned, Zayd bin Sabit is mentioned, one, two uh, uh, specific names, but afterwards uh, makes general statement. But we understand that the Quran teaches us by doing this a specific method. That is important. Now, I revealed, as if God is saying, I revealed the Quran to certain type of people, in a certain geography. This is a lived experience, really happened. All the stories of the prophets mentioned in the Quran, lived human experiences. I'm not talking about something irrelevant to human life, personal or social. Uh, that is what we have to get methodologically we have to learn. We have to present, understand, and present the Quran within a living condition, not history. I cannot live 14 years ago, 1400 years ago. I am living now in the 21st century. So speak to me, transfer or tell me the message of the Quran according to my living conditions right now. That is the method we have to learn from the Quran. Mention specific events, lived experience that time, teaching me that I have to speak in this way, whatever the place I am, whenever the time I live. That is the methodology the Quran is teaching us. This is most neglected, as Dr. Najati reminded us. We read the books here telling us what happened that time and not letting me know what should I do now. This is against the method of the Quran. Of course, they were speaking in their time to their people, the scholars. They were right. But still in 21st century, we refer to the back again. Now, this is my pain. This is my pain. All right, let's go. Let me read it without really spending much time. Since Allah knows their plottings, why does why does not he disclose their plottings to us? Said, I know it. Or, and doesn't disclose to us. This he says, I know it. But we have to be very careful. Or does he disclose them, but we don't notice? Ah, come here. In this ayah, Allah is letting us know that they are plotting. I am telling you, be careful about their plot and do what you should do. Now, in your time, in your conditions, see who is plotting. There will be somebody plotting against the message of the Quran. That I'm letting you know because I'm reading the Quran now. I am reading this ayat now. I am letting you know there have always been there must always be somebody plotting against the Quran. Watch out, what are they doing? Let's see what we should do now. We said there's somebody plotting. Who are they? Because Allah said, I know somebody plotting. When did he say? Now, to me, when I read the Quran. That is how we should read the Quran. We say, here and now. What am I supposed to understand from this ayah? Yeah. Rather than this ayah in Yasin, وَلَا يَحْسُنْكَ قَوْلُهُمْ إِنَّا نَعْلِمُ مَا يُسِرُّونَ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ. Now this ayah. Don't worry about it. Yeah? We know what they are doing. So do your job. Not that they are plotting against us. This people, I mean, I don't want to name the countries. Banana Republic is doing this. The Apple Republic is doing that against Muslims. All of them are fighting against us. No, but what are you doing? Complaining, begging for money. What are you doing? They are plotting. What is your answer? What is your protection from the plottings? This is what we get from the Quran. Now, in our age, what are the plots of the deniers? What do you think, Dr. Najat? What are the plots?
I think can we ask in the chat to see where we can get the answer? I hope because I'm really curious. When I reflected, I see the greatest plotting in the whole human history. Perhaps it's the one that we have it in modern times. I really think this way. I think there's this very deep, very comprehensive, very common, very dangerous plotting. But unfortunately, maybe most are not even aware of that. I wonder, anyone wants to guess it, as Dr. Ali is going to explain that, just try to put your guess in the chat. Let's see what you think. What is that? What could be the greatest plots against the Quran, against Islam in modern times?
Quranic message.
Yes, Quranic message. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I think just type it in like 1-2 words if you want.
Or maybe after WhatsApp. Quran.
No, I think no. They already put in there. It seems like yeah. It says Othman saying that secular science giving matter agency causes writing the universe, and existence. Eric is saying existence accidental. Ilhan Akan saying naturalism or cause and effect. Agape says materialism and politics. And Murat Kazanji saying is an energy. Wow, that's really interesting.
Excuse me, I couldn't get Murat.
Yeah, he says energy, the forces, energy, like physical concept of energy. I think they're saying that. Yeah, and another person with no name, iPhone, warning of hereafter. And Elif is saying, make us sleepwalkers, distraction. And it's interesting. So we got various different answers to that. Perhaps all of them are right in a way, right?
Yeah, to a certain extent, yes.
Yeah. And Zahid is saying that definitely it is evident from the state of Muslim world, the whole world is against Islam. Why? She's saying that. And Sarah is saying, and quoting from Bible, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against authority, against the power of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Sabir is saying doubt created, and Ilhan is saying that we do not need outside force for life to exist. It is all causal or natural. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting to hear, yeah. Different perspective. Let's go to the, as far as I understand, the heart of the matter. The deceit, their deceit lies in the way they present their comment, these people who are studying the universe. The most challenging side of nowadays, the Quranic message, Tawheed, and one of our friends said, explaining everything in cause and effect, relationship, and as if expelling the creator out of the universe, out of our life. That's it. We are left with the universe alone. Now, but what they do, how do they do it? They present their comments with an air of confidence that implies their claims are entirely true. Using the universe as the source of evidence for their misinterpretations, because the universe and creatures in it are not utilized by the believers. Rather, it is left to deniers, and they are using the abundant universe and freely interpreting it. This is the summary of the Muslim world since 12th century. When Abbasides collapsed, religion and science, studying the universe, separated, and they studied the universe, declared unbelievers, disbelievers, expelled from the madrasa, a Muslim education system. Universe is abandoned. Now, secular scientists are abusing what has been abandoned and left orphaned. The universe is orphaned, waiting to be reclaimed by its legitimate owner. The Qur'an is ordering us now to save it from being abused, misused by the secularist, materialist scientists. That must be our primary object in studying the Quran, to learn how to protect the dignity that the abused universe deserves. That's my personal idea. So, generally speaking, nowadays, the Muslim world is still busying themselves busying themselves with only narrating the verses of the Quran and Hadith. They don't use the universe as the evidence to confirm the message. So it looks like just an ideology and happened in the history. They still don't use the universe in order to understand the Quran and the Hadith narrations. This is my observation, my humble observation. Of course, there are many exceptions. And I am very happy to see that, alhamdulillah, the Muslim world is awakening, though slowly, not rising up. Dr. Nejati has been running from one country to another. Hey, wake up! Your Muslim students, children, you send to schools, pay them for, work for them, pay all this tuition fees, struggle. I know some of the universities here, there are many Muslim students studying per year, they pay $80,000 per year. Who's paying it? Fathers. And what are they learning there? Universe, innocent, orphan universe, no protector, hijacked by secularist scientists. And they learn cause and effect. When we have the discussion there, they have all questions. But don't we see that the things are growing, the laws, there are laws. No, how can it happen like this? There are laws. although I'm very happy the new developments in some physics theorists, very late generation, something like into almost the beginning of 21st century, they said, one of them said, we talk about gravity, but we don't know what it is and how it happens. So I love this claim by them. That is our observation only. That's how we observe, but we don't know. What is the agent behind it? Where is it? How did it come? What is the essence of it? Nothing. We don't know. They started declaring, inshallah, they will declare that science is not going to solve the problem of the universe because we cannot solve it within the universe. We have to see the agent. Now, we will study that, inshallah.
Dr. Ali?
Bankruptcy is very soon, Dr. Najati. Be hopeful.
Right.
The scientists, secular scientists, that really listen to latest quantum mechanic scientists. They are already declaring bankruptcy. We cannot know the reality of anything in the physical world. And they say Newton was wrong to say that everything is fixed. Nothing is fixed. They declare now and they demonstrate it. So go ahead, Dr. Nizam.
Yes. So I think, so if we can go to the previous slide, this is very, very essential. You mentioned your pain, and this is my pain personally when we're dealing with education. And everywhere we go, when we see particularly the problem in knowledge, in education, and when we see that people's with all good intentions unknowingly serving this poisonous meal to the students, and you feel the pain, but you don't know how to explain. So in a way, the plot here has been around for a long time, and it's one of really great scholar who unearthed this plot is Sayyid Hussein Nasr. He argues that the West intentionally injected this plot into the Muslim curriculum, make them to, in a way, give up their own understanding of reality, their own understanding of a creator, and their understanding of Tawheed. So in this regard, that I think it's really essential to mention that as you put it very nicely, the Quran make a claim, the universe is the evidence for the claim in the Quran. Now, if you take away the universe, then you have a claim without evidence. And claim without evidence cannot give you conviction. You can only have an imitation and taqlid, acceptance, because you don't see the evidence. So I think to reclaim the universe as an evidence is an excellent way. The way I put it, I explain like this. I say, if I claim and I have a great art skill, I can only convince you when I do the artwork and show my own artwork. So in this regard, in the Quran, God says, I am the artist. I am the all-knowing, all-powerful. But then he revealed his artwork in the universe to give us assurance that indeed he is the artist. But now when you put his artwork aside and go and just memorize his name and memorize his word in the Quran, that cannot give you yaqeen. That cannot give you certainty. And I think that is our struggle. So in this regard, that the universe is something we must go to it, we must study, we must reclaim and read through the light of Quran as an evidence for the claim in the Quran to have the assurance. Now, one thing I find you mentioned, I want to highlight this as well. In many places, they will take the science They will just add the ayah and hadith and say, oh, Islamicize. I tell them this as I use an analogy. I say it's like there's a poisonous food. You serve this, but then you put in another plate some nice dessert. That doesn't help because the poisonous food is going to kill them, though your dessert is appealing. Your dessert has nothing to do to remove this poison. So you need to remove this poison first. To me, and my pain is, how are we going to really make Muslim to be aware of this plot and to make the priority to remove this poison before they bring any ayah and hadith? That's really my pain in this regard.
Yeah, so I am happy to see that when I said something, Dr. Nejat, it triggered Dr. Nejati's pain. He has been struggling for it. I don't know whether the people will awake. I don't know nothing much about what is going on in the world. I am just living in my room with my books, and I don't know really. But somewhere around 40 years ago, somewhere around 40 years ago, I went to Saudi Arabia. I spoke to somebody. Anyways, a very great man, passed away, rahimahullah. The scholars rejected that the biology books are teaching everything in evolutionary terms, the theory, and then the government took precaution of it, and what they did, they forced the publishers to put one page. It was 40 years ago. I don't know what's going on now. I don't think much changed. But, in this book, what they are saying is against our belief. So that is the warning for the students. We believe everything is created by Allah. وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ, the first page. Have you ever seen these books nowadays?
No.
No. That time, it was 40 years ago when I was young and going everywhere in the world, so as much as I could. So that is, it was so painful. Since then, I have been carrying this. Is it the solution? Evidence is told in the book, claiming that we don't believe in it. We are Muslims. We believe God creates everything. That is the solution, Dr. Nejati. Your job, 5D dimension, 5D thinking job is hard job, hard. Inshallah, Muslim world will wake up. Inshallah. Soon. If the Muslim world is not going to wake up, I think that Allah will employ some honest scientists who will say it is impossible to explain the universe within itself. They will declare it soon. They started saying this. Read Feynman's book. He's the Nobel Prize winner. Scientist, serious scientist. Read it. Okay. Now, what are we doing nowadays is this. After the deniers took the universe and interpreted it, we follow them and claim that this is also mentioned in this or that ayah or hadith. Yes, these verses demonstrate the miraculousness of the Qur'an, but this doesn't help us to learn how to read the Qur'an together with the universe to confirm the message of the Qur'an. This is not the method. After they interpret it, they say, the Quran says so as well. Quran is a miraculous book. It is just a claim. It doesn't confirm the message of the Quran with an evidence. You have to find out. You have to interpret it according to the teachings of the Quran. So even some of the Muslims, that is even, I don't know whether you are, I think everybody is aware of, but definitely Dr. Nejati is aware of it. Uh, there are some books written by Muslims claiming this. Even if some of the Muslims dare to claim that the Quran confirms the evolution theory by misinterpreting the Quran's descriptions of Allah as if the one who creates the universe and is resting now. The materialist doesn't accept God, notion of God. They can say the universe is working in this way by itself. That's it. But believing in God and saying the things are working by themselves now, God is no. Sometimes wakes up as if I made a joke here, wakes up and interferes it the universe when needed, if needed. But the Quran describes God as being only the creator, and all beings are subject to his act of creating and sustaining their existence in a perfect order in time and space continuously. Muslims need to demonstrate this with evidence, taking the evidence from the universe. Now, we need to build, that's important. We need to build our confidence in the message of the Quran related to interpreting the universe. Every being is continuously changed in a new form of existence. The Quran teaches us that the sequence of the orderly creation is continuously renewed. Look, Quran is saying that. See the continuous renovation in the creation of the universe so that you can know who the creator can be. Can a particle or a piece of the universe matter, be the source of existence of its own actions? So here is the ayah. Let's read what he says. Listen to it. Oh, am I doing something wrong? No. No, this is not the ayah. Okay, I will read it inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. يسأله من في السماوات والأرض كل يوم هو في شأن. All creatures in the heavens and on earth depends in their existence on him. Every day he manifests himself in yet another way. So God is helping us. Come on, look at my universe. What I am creating continuously in front of you. Don't you see that every moment, everything is changing in a perfectly orderly way, and every moment, every single being is perfectly arranged, created within the context of the whole universe, and this is my creation. Come on, the reader of the Quran, students of the Quran, come on, wake up and see it and demonstrate it. Demonstrate it. Read this verse and demonstrate it. Don't leave the universe, my creation, to the people who have bad intention, conditioned mind, not using their intellect properly. They say, now, I was amazed. There was a great, passed away long ago, philosopher who wrote a book and he changed the way of philosophy uh, in European tradition, in West tradition. And he's a very famous book, very small book, but really changed the way the philosophers are thinking and the scientists are thinking. I seriously took the book and studied. When I came to the point in the book, it said, all these are happening. We don't know how they are happening, why they are happening, but they are happening, and we observe it. We know that there is a perfect order. How this order happened by itself. Questions, asks the question. And he says, if we go to this aspect in the book, I don't know whether some, maybe, do you think it is all right to mention the name of the book? Because some people may wonder.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you can.
Okay, so Tractatus, Wittgenstein. So if somebody is in that area, in the book, and he says, if we go and try to answer this aspect of the question, we would fall into theology. Look at this, ilahiyat, yeah, into theology. And we are scientists. We don't go outside of the universe. He doesn't say this. We are scientists. We just see, observe, and describe how it is happening. And about how it is happening, how it is happening. Nowadays, quantum mechanic philosophers or scientists are questioning, alhamdulillah. They started, we don't know how gravity happens. We don't know. For example, do you know magnets? You cannot, Dr. Richard, they say, you cannot divide the two poles of the magnet, yeah, two poles of how do you call magnets? It's right, into two. Impossible. Look at this unity. You can even go then at atomic level. Still, North Pole is North Pole, South Pole is South Pole. Positive, negative. You cannot separate anything from each other. In this globally or in a particle level. So it means that you cannot separate anything from the others. Even you cannot separate from one side of it, one side of an atom from another side. This cannot be possible. Everything is tightly connected to each other. How it happens, how it happened, no answer. They declare. So all the universe now started speaking to humanity and saying that I am declaring the truthfulness of this ayah. Now, we don't have much time. I should stop speaking a lot to my excitement. God in the Quran is not who only intervenes in the universe's operation when necessary, or, I didn't write it here, initiated from the beginning and automatically it is working now. Now, he is the one who creates the universe continuously. This demonstrates that he is an absolute being, not like what he creates. He is not like what he creates. Think of a piece of art and a book. Simply, the question is this: does the universe exist in an unchanged order and continuously existing by its own cause and effect circle? Are causes the creators of the effects? Or, as the Quran says, is every being in the universe the created effects, and the only cause is the creator of the entire universe in its time and space dimensions, continuously renewed. Now, I've got unfortunately, AI has no shame. I asked one of them, describe an art and artist. So look at without shame, the evolutionists say this sculpture came out of this stone in the course of how many million years ago. Started, happened to be. They ignore this man. And that's a bad picture, but here is another one. Now, here is the book. With this, we understand. Here is the author. Book definitely shows that there is knowledge in it, although I don't know why the AI choose this word. No, I don't mind. Book is book. It's not paper. There is something written in it. You pay for what it is written. You don't pay for paper. Paper costs, let's say, $1, and the book is $50. You are paying for the information. And this is the author. Is there any way for any human mind? Of course, book represents the universe. This guy represents, this is just an example, the creator of the universe, owner of the universe. And don't forget, the book and the sculpture are not continuously changing. The simplest example, but when you get the example from the universe, every single being is continuously changing without falling into disorder. So by looking at the book and book and book everywhere and saying that this information in the book, this knowledge in the book came from here and here and here, and what do you think, Dr. Najat? Look at this. The author cannot be describable. Now, the time is up. Of course, I have to read it and leave it to you, Dr. Najat. We need to understand the absoluteness of the Creator, who cannot be described with any quality of his work. You cannot describe this author, this guy, any part of with this. He is like this page or another page or this letter or another letter in it. You cannot do that. This is a completely different existence. We are in the book. We are saying that this book must have a author, and this author cannot be describable with any conditions of this book. But this is a completely the author is a completely existence level. That is why we have to say and declare the author of the book must not be described with the parts of the qualities of the book itself, but it must have an absolute creator that I cannot imagine. Now, every piece of the universe declares that my creator can only be the one who creates the entire universe and changes it continuously. The creator of the universe demonstrates his qualities continuously, yet another way, to those who study the creatures. So he must be described as absolute. No, the simple example, numbers cannot represent infinite. Absolute infinite is impossible to be represented by numbers. So we have to understand that this book has an author, and this author has a completely different level of existence. That's what we say. God, the creator, is absolute, cannot be describable, but we are 100%, 1000% sure this book has an author. Cannot happen by itself. The universe must have a creator, and this creator is absolute. That's what we will continue, inshallah, by demonstrating the ayats.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think it's become quite clear that we begin with an ayah that talk about plotting against the Quran, and then we mentioned that this ayah must have a universal message. So if we read it in terms of universal message, we find out that we need to think of what are the plotting against the Quranic message in our time. And then we will find out one of the biggest plot that's ongoing is the plotting in education, in knowledge, and by attributing the creation to the cause, nature, laws, and taking away the study of the universe from the believer and giving to the materialist and secular scientists as if that there is no creator and as if those can just happen through certain laws and forces and by chance by itself. So in this regard, that when we reflect on based on our own experience and reflect on the creation through our experience, we observe that there is continuous change in everything, every moment, and the change is very orderly, very wise, very purposeful. And we conclude from that as we observe, let's say, a building or artwork, and we conclude there must be artists. As we see an amazing book, we conclude there must be an author. As we observe and see this dynamic creation of the universe, we must conclude that there must be an absolute power behind that, because everything in the universe is connected to everything else. The maker of one thing can only be the maker of everything else. That unity, that tawheed in creation, that tawheed in the universe leads to the unity of the creator, the oneness of creator. And that is the Quranic message. And in this regard, the message that we receive or the message that delivered to our kids through the schooling system is completely opposite of this message. So our job is to understand this plot and to see what we can do to basically remove this ideology, to remove this poison, to have our kids to study the universe as an evidence for the claim of the Quran. And our dua in this blessed time is to really make us to be aware of this and make us to work together to reveal this plot and work against this plot to truly reclaim the universe as an evidence, to read the Quran and the universe side by side in a very meaningful and integrated manner.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Beautiful conclusion. So inshallah, we will learn how to read the Quran and really understand that what is the plot the deniers are preparing or doing against the message of the Quran. Now, this is very important. I think we should continue studying the ayats pointing to this and drawing our attention that you cannot really, the Quran is saying, you cannot read me without the evidence what I'm creating. So he is just inviting us, Allah is inviting us, don't neglect my action, don't neglect. Use it together. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعوانا إلى الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة.
Thank you, everyone, and see you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
عليكم السلام ورحمة